Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Ron.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing real good. I'm in California. Where are you?
I'm in California as well. I'm
Oh,
in
you're
San
you're in
Jose.
California.
Yeah.
Where at?
San Jose? San Jose,
Oh,
California?
San Jose. Oh,
Yeah.
San Jose. Okay. What was the weather like today?
Warm. How about you?
Yeah, it was 105 today.
Oh, okay. So we're not that warm. We cannot complain.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
how warm was it? Do
Um,
you know?
Probably 85,
Oh
90.
man. Well, I wish I was up there with you then.
I know.
That that's
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 what I'm saying.
that's
I
be-
cannot complain.
yeah, that's beautiful weather up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
you
Ron. This is
hey,
Sophia.
Sophia, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Nice to meet you finally.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here with you guys, talking about equality.
Yes,
That's what we have to get back to. We got to get back to equality.
exactly. Yeah,
We
Yeah.
that's
want
the
equity.
yeah,
No,
that's
no,
the
no, no equity.
no
Okay. Thank
equity
you.
because they are the ones who define equity. Equality is defined by God.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody was created equal.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. And Sophia, what they try to tell us is that with their equity principle, that they're going to be able to have like equal outcomes. You can
Yeah,
never have equal outcomes because everybody will not put in the same effort. Everybody will not work the same amount of hours. So people have talents, skills, and abilities, but they won't utilize those skills, talents, and abilities at the same rate. And they
exactly.
and that's what we're dealing with in California. We don't have people that's going to work. We got to get people going to work, and not being freeloaders on society.
Exactly. I came from communist China, and some of
Uh-huh.
us, we came from the same country. That's exactly how they promised us. It sounded really good. So young people
Yes.
especially will be trapped into this. They would think, okay, everybody should have equal outcome, regardless how much effort they put it in there. It never came out right. It never. And you look at other countries, almost every other country failed as miserably as China did. Even
No,
today,
you,
they made a huge progress in their economy in the past 30, 40 years. But without that fundamental value of equality, all the gains can be lost within days in a short period of time. And
yes.
US cannot go that route. No.
No, I'm hoping we don't, Sophia. I tell you, um, I'm 66 years old.
You don't look
I
your
got
age.
40 years married. I have 38 years federal government service,
Wow.
United States Army, United States Postal Service, and I was retired. Me and my wife both retired,
Yeah.
and we worked hard. I worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week at different times in my life. I worked a second job a lot of times in my life. I raised my son. I say, RJ, you can work 7 days a week, you can work 5 days a week, but we don't take off. We keep working. He graduated, Sophia, a straight A student,
Wow.
calculus two, physics
Wow.
two,
Wow.
and he was at the University of Wisconsin-Madison majoring in computer science. So when I
Wow.
go on my campaign and I talk to people, I give them those numbers because it's saying a lot. I say, me and my wife, we work hard, but we taught our son to work hard as well.
Yeah.
Because hard work pays off. There's no substitute for hard work.
Right. Yeah. And we're first generation immigrants, most of us are. And then we can be a
Uh-huh.
good example for confirming that. We worked
Absolutely.
hard and we didn't even have a green card. We couldn't even choose the job we wanted it to.
Right.
After 10 years, we got a green card. We really
Yes.
cherished it. And for those people who were born in this country, they were born with the US citizenship.
Hmm.
They should cherish it They should feel proud of being an American. Other people are risking their lives to get it. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's getting really bad. I feel so sorry for the young people. They were brainwashed. They were, misled for this utopia concept. It never will work out. It will never work.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, Sophia, I say, listen, people that's coming here with nothing in their hands, or maybe a suitcase or whatever, they're going to go right by these people that's been here for generations because they will not take the opportunities that they have. We have a great opportunity in this country, but they're squandering it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey
Yeah.
everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry to be late. So I was
Oh.
running, pick up my daughter.
Okay.
Hardworking dad, another hardworking dad.
Yes.
Absolutely. How you doing?
Hey Ron, finally we see each other.
Yeah.
Personally.
Finally, huh?
Finally, we made it.
Yeah. Thank
Now,
you.
now Alice is in San Jose. Sophia, where are you?
I'm in Southern California. We are like today's weather, the highest is 95.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you're in Southern California with me. I'm in Moreno Valley, California. What
Yeah.
city are you in, Sophia?
I'm in Walnut.
Oh,
Wow. Where's
Walnut.
that? Where's that?
Walnut, it's
Oh,
about,
Walnut.
yeah,
Yeah.
close
Walnut.
to Disneyland. Not sure if
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Walnut.
Yeah. So
It's beautiful weather. It's beautiful weather out there as well.
it's really hot, actually.
Oh, is it?
Not 105 hot. Not
But
105
No, not yet.
hot.
Thank God, not yet.
I think you have
Absolutely.
you have beach, right? Nearby.
Me? No. Oh, yeah. If I drive about 40 minutes, yeah.
40 minutes. Yeah, that's about the same as us. Go to the San Francisco beach or like
Yeah, but the Bay
The
Area.
only
you
problem
guys
is our beaches are very cold.
Yeah, we're jealous of you. You guys are having the best weather, but the political climate isn't as good, That could ruin a really beautiful city.
Yes. Now, what city is? Am I saying it right? Garang.
Yes, Gaurang, you got it.
Garang.
Hi, Garang.
What city are you in, Garang?
Fremont, California.
Oh, you're in Fremont. Fremont.
Yes.
Okay.
North California. I
In the
am
northern.
in Los Altos. So it's also South Bay. It's also North California.
Northern Cal. Yeah.
Yeah, you're all cooler than me and Ron, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sweating now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there is one lady on the phone. I think that's Susan. Is that right, Susan?
I'm here. Yep, I'm here. I'm on.
Susan, hi.
Susan. Yeah,
Hi.
Susan is also in. Susan, are you in Santa Clara or San Jose?
Sunnyvale.
Sunnyvale. Okay.
Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
It's still around here.
Sunnyland. They're all in Northern California and San Diego, and I'm the only one who is in Southern California with Ron.
Oh, that's
Right.
right. Yeah. We need more people there.
That's good. They are good candidates down in Southern California, like Ron.
Yep.
So you guys got many opportunities. We got opportunity to flip the seats. That's why I'm excited about this call.
Yes, we do. We have a beautiful opportunity right here to make history. And it kind of just fell into my lap because I tell you guys, I'm not a politician. I'm a servant leader. And I tell people, I say we need servant leaders in our country, not people that's taking bribes, people that's getting remuneration, people that want something in return for their vote. We need people that love America, that love God, that love families, that love people. I tell people I'm not a Black American, I'm not a white American, I'm not a Hispanic American, I'm just a patriotic American. I'm a veteran. I love this country, and we want to keep our freedom. It's individual freedom that I'm fighting for. I'm retired, But the reason I got up off my seat is because I see if we keep going the path we're going, we're going to lose our individual freedom, and I don't want to lose our individual freedom.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for running. You know, you could enjoy a really good retirement because you worked hard, and
Yes.
then you must have a really good pension. So thank you
Well,
for
my wife is helping me out here and there, and I tell her, I always joke with her, Sophia. When I want something, I say, I know a banker. So I'll point at
she's
her.
your banker.
She's my banker.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like when I need something, I just look at her. I'll say, okay, we need to do this. And she's been right there along. God has blessed me with a beautiful wife. We've been married 40 years,
Wow.
and I thank God for her. She's really helped me in this journey.
Supportive. I
Great.
needed someone
Have
who
any
supports
kids,
you.
Ron?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You have any kids?
Kids,
Any
a
Any kids?
son.
Oh yeah, I only have one child. He's 20 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I tell you, God blessed us with him. We were trying to have a child, and we couldn't have a child. We didn't have a child till 20 years later after we were married. And
Wow.
in that 20th year, you know, we had family, friends, people were having kids, and we're like, we want kids too, and we couldn't have a kid, and you know, we would like go to the doctor. Is everything's okay with me? Everything's okay with her. And
Right.
so on the 20th year, I just like, okay, Lord, maybe this is not for us. And so I accept your will for my life. And in the 20th year, guess what happened? She got pregnant.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
yeah,
Yes.
It's
yeah.
a
And
miracle.
they were calling us Abraham and Sarah
Yeah, yes,
at church.
yes, that is.
Yeah, God is
Oh my
good. I
God.
tell you, I just put my hands up and I surrendered to the Lord. And I said, okay, not my will, but Lord, your will be done. And soon as I did that, all of a sudden, boom, she got
Wow.
pregnant.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Awesome.
What a
Yeah.
good
He's
testimony.
been a great kid, Sophia. I had no problems out of him. He loves the Lord. He's a straight A student. Just so God has just blessed us. You know, children are a blessing from the Lord.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Amen.
really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I don't know in the first 5 minutes how many things you have talked about. Should I start our should I give you some introduction of this group, Eco-Responsible, and then I'll briefly introduce Alice and Susan because they are not officially the group yet. But they have been longtime friends and fighting different fights with me together, and so we are actually very trusting each other. So yeah, and I do hope I do know that they will so that we have same value systems and we have the same goals, and then we want all good for the people of California. So yeah, let me start with the equal rights for all. First of all, I'm really grateful, Mr. Ron Edward, for to be here. So everyone is busy, and also especially when you are running a campaign, so you have a lot of things to do. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy work, busy life, to meet us. So this group started officially started in 2021. I think it's around April or May. So the direct reason was to answer the call from Mr. Ward Connolly, who is who used to be the regent of California UC system, and who also fought very hard to install Proposition 209 into California's constitution. So it's read as so the government cannot grant preference or discriminate against any individual group based on this like race, ethnicity, or country of origin, or gender. So that's one very short, beautiful statement in our constitution since 1996. But then so they tried a group of people, right? I'm not going to mention the party. So they try to got it from different ways. So at least what I can recall is 2014 they started SCA5. Then that failed in before the ballot. So 2020 they started ACA5. Then it went on to the ballot, but then defeated by us, by the California people, the voters. So that's 2020, right? So then only 3 years later, after that, they started again ACA7. So the previous two was trying to remove the Proposition 209 but then the first one, SCA5, was trying to remove just for education area. So then this one, ACA7, they said, okay, so since we cannot remove it, let's add some exceptions. And then they added exception saying that, okay, if study can show there is a benefit, and also it gets approved by the governor, no matter who the governor is, right? Then we can still do the racial preference policies. So that's how dangerous ACA7 is. Basically, it gives the governor the authority to do the racial discrimination. So Professor Gill and some colleagues in the California's for Equal Rights. So back in 2020, we had this pack running for against the Proposition 16, where Ward Conley was also a chairman of that campaign. So then they start this one, ACA7. Then we fought really hard. So we went to the Sacramento Capitol and do the protest. Visited every single of those senators. So once it passed the assembly, then we successfully deterred them from getting into any committee. So your opponent, AD60, the current guy, so Corey Jackson, he's a major author and also the major drive behind that. So that's what we have been fighting for this like as this pack. So why did we create this pack and we start interviewing good candidates like you? That's because we want to enforce accountability against all these officials, right? Once we elect them, we know they should not try to do the best thing again, right? So California voters already voted against the racial preference, also known as the affirmative action. I don't like the name affirmative action. It's too positive, but it's very, so it essentially is a poison to American spirits. So yeah, and then this is part of our work. I think it's more meaningful than just fighting one bill after another, because as long as we have the bad people in the office, they'll keep proposing bills like this, and we'll just have to fight forever, right? So that's why we want to put our people in the office so that we actually start to work for the California people, not against them, right? So then everybody can spend the time on very useful or very important things for them to build up the economy and to do hard work and to build up your family, like to raise your kids and to build up for your property or like your own career growth, right? Everyone here, we either have our own, like just like Alice, she got a small business, and the rest of us possibly all have our full-time job, right? We would like to be focused on the full-time job other than fighting against our representatives, quote unquote, right? Representatives. You know, that's a lot of toil every election year, or even between those years. So yeah, that's this group. So far, I would say so humbly, luckily, and with the help of all the all the friends across California, and of course, God is with us. So we have fought and won these two campaigns, right? One is no on is Proposition 60. The other one is no on AC7. So we want to continue this trend, this momentum. We want to find and support better candidates and to assert our enforce the accountability. So yeah, that's basically it's not so short introduction. So again, thank you for coming here on. Do you have any question on this?
No, Tony, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys today. You know, as a first-time candidate, really, I'm like you, Tony. Our time could be better spent being with our families, being with our wives, being with our husbands, being with our sons and daughters, and being with our sisters and brothers and family. But we have to do this work, that if we don't do this work, then our kids and our posterity won't have anything to look forward to. They won't have any freedom. Like I told you guys in the beginning, I'm 66 years old. I was retired. I was looking around like, where's all the young men? We need some men to get in here and do this work. And it took 3 years, you guys, for me to get up off my seat. I tell you, I like gardening. So when you retire, you want to do things that you like to do. So
Right.
I
Yes.
had mustard greens growing. I had collard greens growing. I had bell peppers, onions. The other
Yes.
year, I grew broccoli for the first time. This year, if anybody wants some okra plants, I planted okra. So I got
Oh,
okra growing in my yard. Oh, and another thing I did, I grew potatoes. So I got
wow.
potatoes.
Yes.
And so
Cool.
I just like growing things. And you know, seeing things, you know, taking something that's down, clean it up, keep things clean, pick things up. I like to see life. I'm a licensed minister, so I always work to make things better. So, you know, I taught my son, I say, we don't do random acts of violence. We do random acts of kindness. So me and my wife will be someplace. I think one of the times we were in a Subway because my son likes Subway. And so I got to the cashier. I said, "Oh, I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay for that guy's sandwich. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. I'm going to pay for a sandwich." And so by the time me and my wife got out the shopping center and we were going to the street, he came running out,
Aw.
waving at us. You know, it's just a good feeling to do good, not to do evil, but to do good. So all my life, that's the way my mom raised me, my grandmother, they raised us to do good, always do good. And so, like I say, I'm retired, but something in me, the Lord say, no, our country is being invaded and we're going to lose our freedom. So
Yeah.
you guys, I'm here fighting because I'd rather fight. I'm a veteran. So I would rather fight with words than to have to go get my 1911 or my M16 and fight like that. This is an easier fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm ready to be with you guys so we can do whatever we have to do
Yeah.
to save our beautiful country.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Ron. Ron, thanks. Great introduction. And actually, our interests are very similar. And I'm getting to your age also. So, you know, I
Okay.
can understand, relate with all the gardening.
Yes.
As, you know, everybody's mentioning, Tony has mentioned, key focus is education, right? And one of the and equality, whatever the politically correct right term is nowadays. So the concern that I have is one, how will you present yourself in situations like this ACS 7? You must have also heard about uh, AB 1955, I think, that governor
Yes.
just signed, which is about
Yes.
schools.
Mhm.
So, considering you're a Republican, I'm too, but there are very few lawmakers in Sacramento. How would you tackle this issue?
Now, you guys know about Bill Asaley, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill Asaley, um, he's a friend of mine. I just met him recently. I worked on his campaign in 22. I phone banked for him. Um, so he's up there fighting the good fight
Yeah.
for us. I
Yes.
call him, I say, Bill, you're a champion, Bill.
Yeah.
And so me and Bill, we chuckle. So I talked to Bill, I said, Bill, that Corey Jackson, he calls you a white supremacist. I said, Bill, before long, it won't be long, and he'll be calling me a white
Yeah.
supremacist too.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So we're on the same page. It's really straightforward. I tell people it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do this stuff. It doesn't take a public administration degree to do this. I compare Corey Jackson and the Democrats to insanity because we're all sitting at home. We go to work, we raise families, we have businesses, we have houses, we have cars. And so we know how to pay for things. We know how to run small businesses. We know how to raise kids. And we need those people in charge. We've allowed socialists, communists, and Marxists to be in the leadership.
Right.
We have to get them out, and it's not going to be a sprint. It's going to be a marathon. So
Yeah.
we have to be prepared to do 2024, 2026, and we have to just build this up and keep going. So we can't look at it as 1 year. It's from now until ever. And I'm guilty of this, you guys, because we have enjoyed freedom in the United States of America for years. So all we were doing was just going to work. And then we vote every 4 years. So we didn't really pay attention to a lot of the things that was going on because, okay, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. I want to paint the street red. I want to paint the building blue. But we all love America. The problem that's going on now, it's not just surface issues. These are deep-seated issues where we've allowed socialists, communists, and Marxists to get in leadership. They're mayors, they're governors, they're in the Senate, they're in the Congress. We got to weed them out like in my garden. I got to get in there and get those weeds out because they're choking my onions, they're choking my other plants. I got to get them out. So you guys, we're on the same page. We have a lot of work to do. I'm talking to my son right now. My son is 20 years old and he's in university. He'll be he's a junior when he goes back in the fall. And I'm already talking to him. I'm saying, RJ, we need young people to take the lead. We've been silent. We were the silent majority. And so we're the nice guys. We just mind our own business. We raise our families.
Yeah.
We're building our wealth. But then what happens is while we're silent, the enemies of us, of family, they're the enemies of family. They're the enemies of children. These guys want to cut off little girls' healthy breasts, 10 years old. They got drag queens talking and reading to kids, and not just reading to them. It's like if you go to Las Vegas or you go to a club, they're gyrating in front of them. They're doing all of these perverted things. They have pornography in the libraries reading to the kids, and the list goes on and on and on. And so we're in a fight for our lives. We're fighting for our very lives, you guys. And I'm with you guys 100%.
So
Thank
can I, so how are you doing with your campaign so far? I mean,
Well,
what are you
Alice,
dealing with? Yeah.
Alice, I tell you, as a new candidate, and when God leads you to do something, a lot of times all the dots, all the dots are not there. He doesn't answer all of the questions you have. So when you get there, you start seeing things. And so what God has showed me, and he showed me this early on. He said, "What wins campaigns?" He said, "If I run for secretary, treasurer, president, if I run for dog catcher, do they count who got the most money? They always count votes." And so he encouraged me with that. So my campaign, I have very small amounts of money. I don't have nothing like they this is what they told me. They said, "Man, you need at least $100,000." And when they told me that, Sophia, I chuckled inside. I said, "Who I gotta pay off?"
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take $100,000 to run a campaign for state assembly. It doesn't. It takes some money, and it takes some volunteers. So the guy I ran against, a Republican, he had been running since 2016. He had a restaurant. He had another business, an insurance business. And so he had name recognition. Everybody knew him. And this is what they told me. This is the kicker. All these Republicans, they like, well, we got all these Hispanics in this district. So it's like, oh, we need a Hispanic to run because we got all these. I said, you guys are doing just what the Democrats are doing. If you look at race, if you're going to make decisions based upon race, then you're doing just what the Democrats do. I told them, I said, listen, I don't go around talking about I'm a Black American. I just say I'm an American. So one thing I do know, I know people that love America, they call themselves Americans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm African American. It doesn't matter if I'm a white American. It doesn't matter if I'm an Asian American. What matters is that I'm here and I'm an American. We're all Americans. I'm old enough to remember. I'm 66 years old. I'm old enough to remember America when everybody came here. It was called the melting pot.
Yeah.
It's like cooking a good gumbo or a good dish. You get all those ingredients. The onion don't say I'm an onion. No, it's in that gravy. It's in the meal. Everything, you cook it and everything comes together. And so now when everybody comes here from Mexico, from Virgin Islands, from Jamaica, from Africa, all those countries in the continent of Africa, when people come here, we're not those countries, we're Americans. And I went and I started talking to people. I stood in front of Target. I stood in front of Walmart. I went to what's the name of that place? All those places. I went to a lot of places. I went to people's doors and they said, I've been living here for 30 years and not one Republican has come and knocked on my door. And when I talked to people, the response I got from them was three things. They said, I hope you win. I hope you win. Number two, they said, I'm going to pray that you win. And number three, they say, they don't want no real Christians in there. and I would chuckle. I would chuckle because what they're saying is so true. And so the guy I ran against, he had a billboard all along the freeway. He had double the amount of signs I had, the yard signs on the street. But I beat him because my message resonated with the people. The people are not racist. We got some leaders that's racist, but the people are not racist. I looked at them, I said, listen, I got nieces and nephews. They're white, Black, Hispanic, they all mixed. I got friends married to Asians. What are you talking about? We're all married to one another. I know people married to everybody. So those are what the Marxists do and the communist socialists, they have to try to separate you.
Yes.
So they have to try to divide the people. So they use race as a leverage, as a tool to get in there in a wedge to separate us. But I would always say, we're Americans. We're one. We're one.
Yes.
We're not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're one people, and we're Americans. We love each other. We
Yep.
love God. We love our families, and we love America. And when you talk to people like that, man, I had people coming. I told them I had Palestinians that put my yard sign in their yard. I signed up some Lebanese. They were Democrats. I signed them up, and now they're Republicans. But people have to believe in what you're saying. So when you talk, you have to be real with people.
Right.
And so I'm a licensed minister. So when people come into the church, I'm not going to shuck and jive people. I'm going to talk to people straight, and they can see that. You can't deceive people. You can't even deceive a 6-year-old. If you try to lie to a 6-year-old, they look right through you. So I always talk to people straight, and they can hear the love, they can feel the love, they can see that you're not a professional politician too. So I had a lot of people tell me, Sophia, they said, you know what? I'm going to vote for you because you're not a professional politician. For that very reason, I'm not a slick guy. I'm not some fancy guy. And so the people are longing for that. I'm going to let you guys talk. I'm going to say one more thing. I tell them at my last speaking engagements, I say, listen, you gave Gavin Newsom $320 billion with a B. I said, if you give me $320 billion with a B, I'm going to give you two things. Number one, I'm going to give you a receipt. I say, has Gavin Newsom ever given you a receipt?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I said, number two, I'm going to give you some change. If you give me $320 billion, man, I don't care what's going on. I should be able to give you some change. It's just common sense.
Yes.
Common sense principles is what we need. I talk about Democrats. Everything Democrats are doing is insane.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially let me not extend that insane part. So I would like to make sure everybody has a chance to ask you one question.
Yes.
I know, I think you already touched that, but just to be really explicit, right, John? So I would like to ask one question, very important question for us, everybody here, right? If there is any other like racial discrimination or racial preference bills proposed in by the Assembly or by the Senate, will you be really will be stand up and fight against them?
Yes, I'm for equal rights. Hands down. It's not even a question with me. This country is going to be in a better place if it has to be by merit. It has to be by merit. We can't reward people for not doing the work. You go to school, they've been doing this for a long time. They grade on a curve. Now they give you a C when you got a D. They just pass you for no reason. We're not going to be successful. So I talk to my son all the time about art. Now, art is good, but you got to have STEM. You have to have science. You have to have technology. You have to have engineering, and you have to have math. The things that we enjoy in life, art is fine. It's good to have art, but you better have some science, some technology, some engineering, and some math.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, who want to answer another question? Thank you, Ron.
Oh, you guys are welcome.
So just since nobody else is saying anything,
Well,
I'm going to jump in.
Question. I have
Go
a
ahead. Go
question.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Ron.
Hey.
So
How are you?
I do follow Bill, and he's actually very outspoken. I like his courage because they have muted him a couple times in the assembly to try to cut him off. But so my question to you is, I've noticed a lot of our state representatives, they're not, maybe at the national level as well, they're more activists. You know what I mean? For some reason, our schools are teaching our kids that the way to go to affect change is to be an activist and to shout and, you know, to,
Yes.
what I would say, be obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
To your point about these pro-Palestinian, these protesters, I'm sure 75% of them don't even know why they're even protesting for Palestine. You know, it seemed like all they wanted to do was just cause destruction and shout and intimidate. So I guess my question to you is, could we rely on you not to be the activist, but like you said, to be the common sense, the voice of reason, right? And just compromise, but where you have to, but also not compromise where, you know, you basically sacrificing values, what you fought for, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes plenty sense. We really have a problem in our country because, you know, deception is a thing that's been going on for a long time. We pay these
Right.
guys, good money to represent us, but yet they go up to Sacramento, they go up to Washington,
Right.
and become beholden to lobbyists. The bureaucrats are running things, people that are unelected. And so we have a situation where money is really trumping a lot of things that shouldn't be going on. We know that it's too much money involved. It's just entirely too much money involved. I'm one of those guys that can't be bribed. You have to have principles. We need men with principles, men that
Right.
stand for something, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. We
Right.
need
That's
we need we need those men that are principled men.
right. Okay. And I really like what I've heard you say. I agree with you 100%. You know, my fear is that when we don't promote based on merit, and we just, like you said, suddenly you know, instead of getting a D, the student gets a C, and, you know, and at some point, if we don't stop this, it'll become a B. Then the decline of our country continues.
Yes,
And that's not what we have to reverse it, right? Because
that's
we're
right.
on the of really doing a lot of harm to our country. And Russia, China, they are, you know, they are threats, and we have to be able to stand up and say, you know, we are the world economy. We have that power, and we have that capability in our workforce. But if we're doing things like this, where it's race-based or it's DEI, then we'll have issues. We'll continue to have issues.
Exactly. Exactly. My mom is a retired teacher. My sister, she was just always one of those. You could see it in them when they're young. She had the memory. She had the memory. She read all the classics when she was in junior high school at a young age. She went to a private school when she got into high school. So she was going to school with like the baseball commissioner's son, Peter Uteroff. She was going to school
Oh,
with
yeah.
rich people, and it was a school in Santa Barbara. And so she ended up graduating from Princeton, and she graduated from Yale. She was just one of those people. She was quick. She was just real quick and sharp. She just had it at a young age. Some people
Uh-huh.
have to work. Some people have to really work hard for what they have. I'm one of those guys. I've just always been a hard worker. I was a Cub Scout. I was a Boy Scout. I went in the military. I was a scout. I served everywhere I've been. I was just one of those guys. And that's how I won my primary. I put boots on the ground. I was up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I wouldn't come home till 10:30. I think the latest I ever got home was like 11:30 at night. So we need people. We need people that's going to do the hard work.
That's
And
right.
yeah, we need people that's going to do the hard work.
Yeah.
Right. And not just be handed something, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're claiming, you know, they have some complaint. You know, I hear that a lot about, oh, I deserve this. No, this is not an entitlement. We are not an entitlement society.
That's right.
It's not an entitlement. You know, it's hard work. You earn it.
You have to earn it.
Sorry, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I got a question. So
Yeah,
because I have an opportunity to talk to quite a few candidates, okay, and I've noticed something, and I just want to see how you approach it. Of course, don't give us any secret or anything, but your secret sauce. But I did notice something, that some of the Republican candidate, they seem to stay in their own like comfort zone, like just hanging out with the hardcore Republicans, and they don't reach out. I mean, in order to win, in California, you need to be able to reach out to the moderate Democrats and independent to try to help them understand that the radical are really crazy. So, so what have you done? I mean, are you more of those that kind of hang out in the church and just the church and the Republican people, or what strategy have you been doing to reach out beyond that?
Yeah, that's a good question, Alice. And my mom's name is Alice too, so I like your name.
My husband's last name is Edwards.
Oh wow! Are we related? Are we related?
Oh yeah, we're related.
Yeah, Alice. I'm a licensed minister, so relating to people is what we do as a minister. I don't care what religion it is. If you're going to serve the Lord or serve God, or you become a servant of people, you have to serve people. And this is one thing I tell people: we need servant leadership, not just in God's house. I don't care what religion it is. Those men that dedicate their lives to a life of service, they're a special type of person. So we need servant leadership, not just in God's house, but we need servant leadership in the state house. We need servant leadership in the White House. And I tell people we need servant leadership in all houses in this nation. And so when I talk to people, all people, it doesn't matter. And that's why I could strongly say I'm not a Black American. I'm not a white American. I'm not a Hispanic American. I'm just a patriotic American. And when you talk to people like that, it crosses all those barriers because they can feel it. It's not like a piece of paper or a mailer that comes to my house or something on TV. I'm standing in front of them. They can see me, they can hear me, they can feel me. It's a wonderful thing when you stand in front of people. The best business plan is always word of mouth advertisement. There's some companies like Dell Computers, Kirby Vacuum Cleaners. You'll never see them on TV. You won't see them on billboards and stuff, but you can experience the quality of that product. So me as a candidate, what I've been doing from day one is I've been going and talking to people one by one by one by one. And the power, let me read you something about the power of one. The power of one. One song can spark a moment. One flower can wake the dream. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. One smile begins a friendship. One hand clasp lifts a soul. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can frame the goal. One vote can change a nation. One sunbeam lights a room. One candle wipes out darkness. One laugh will conquer gloom. One step must start each journey. One word must start each prayer. One hope will rise our spirits. One touch can show you care. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true. One life can make the difference. You see, it's up to you.
Wow.
Powerful, powerful. The number one, when
Mhm.
you get people, it's like in the military. We get all these men, we cut all their hair off, we
Mhm.
get them to march in step, we get them to do everything in unison. They speak together, they cheer together, they sing together, they live together, they work together, and you get people working together and you get them working as one. That's powerful. That takes some smart men. It takes some wise men to do that. I'm that man. I've been that man all my life. My mom would say, Ron, do this and you can do this and pay for this. And I knew my family didn't have money. I knew they didn't have stuff. And she said, Ronnie, won't you do this? I said, no, that's all right, mom. So I always wanted to help my mom. So I went to the military in the 70s and I started sending money home. I was sending $400 home every month to help my family. My
Wow.
sisters were able to go to private school. My sister graduated from Princeton. My sister graduated from Yale. She's a doctor, has her own practice, and I thank God that I could help my mother send them to school.
Wow.
Wonderful.
That's what it
Thank you.
takes. Just one person. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank
Just
you,
one
Ron.
person.
Thank you for
Just
sharing
one
with us.
person.
Yeah, that is
Just one
powerful.
person.
Yeah.
And you're the one, Ron. We're so grateful that you're willing to step up to do the fight. Many of us, even
Yes.
though we see the same problems as you do, and we're younger, I bet, like I'm younger than you. I bet the others are much younger than me too.
Yes.
We dare not to take that one step forward.
Yep. One. Just
Um,
one.
just one, and we're grateful you're willing to do the fight. You're the front fighter. We're the chairperson, cheering team for you.
Amen.
I know that many of us are not local. Even me, I'm thinking about, oh, Moreno Valley. It is a distance from where
Yes.
I live, and I'm thinking about like a voter phone list. My husband used to run for city council, and he bought the voters phone list because that's more direct to the voters. And volunteers from afar, they can help you regardless how far they're away from you. We can all do the tests for you, and we can start early. And we can do the funding for you too. It's not that expensive to buy the voters phone list. Are you willing to to buy that? I can get you some information where to buy it.
Now, I
Have it.
I bought the voter list from the ROV.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
bought,
that's perfect.
yeah,
If you have the
I have the,
voters list, give the
yes,
list to us, and we can just separate the list and have the volunteers to get started. Because the good thing about Jackson is that he has a bad name recognition as well. Many
absolutely.
mainstream media had really bad coverage on him just because he is a advocate for equity. So he
Hmm.
was trying to do this ACA 7, which is like contradictory to the Supreme Court's ruling on equality. So he wanted to overturn that in California. Um, so he has really good, he has bad recognition, name recognition. We can make good use of that. Just attach those
Hmm.
mainstream media coverage on him. He's a threat not only to your own district, but also to California and also to the country. And he has a mental problems as well. Asili, uh, some coverage between the
Yes.
two of them. Asili is such, he has really good name recognition in your district in particular. So that will help the voters to understand how bad Jackson, how abnormal this person is. So we don't need to say much. We just include these coverages, and we can
Yes.
do that. All our volunteers in Northern California, in San Diego, wherever we are, we can do that. And if we split it, it's not that much to do. And then we can start doing it earlier. Yeah, talking is good, but it's like so far away for us to go to your district. Even though I
Right.
make the trip, I couldn't do that every day, maybe once in a while. So it's not really helpful. If I talk to 10 people, you know, and it's not that many, but if we do the voters phone list, and I'm glad you already have that, we can keep doing that, keep doing that. And we can reach out to them by talking to them too. But I think text messages are really efficient. It has been proven. And also, I think my husband bought that automatic phone message. Someone can do it for you. You just like telling them the text, and the machine will do it for you. So those things, I think we can help him in some ways. One is that we can do fundraising for you among our volunteers, because your fight is not just for your own district. It's for California. It's for the future of California. And we can get started. It's the time. Next is that we have really good social media team. We can start working on that, and we can team up with Ashley. Ashley has really good tweets, and he's a fighter. So he has many good posting against Jackson in particular. We can use those as we can leverage with him. And meanwhile, we needed to support Ashley too. He's a lone fighter. He's a great fighter. He has a great political future as well. He is a great person that we can all trust and rely on. His platform is not only in the assembly. He has a better and brighter platform that he needs help. And we can just leverage all your team with you. I'm thinking about, and also CFER, California for Equal Rights. They were the leader for Proposition 16, and we were all part of it. So they're going to have a annual meeting, and then they will have a lot of good speakers too. I'm not sure if, like, I know Tony already asked you about your willingness to attend it, maybe just for a segment, just an afternoon in the morning. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we can approach a CFER to see if they will let you to talk about your campaign and to have more people on board. No, they wouldn't do that.
That's against the policy. That's against
Oh,
the
I see.
regulation.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are
yeah.
C3, C3.
Yeah,
I think
they're different
Rob can
from
be
us.
there. I can introduce him to friends around, but
Yeah.
if
Not, yeah,
they,
informally maybe, huh?
if
Yeah,
they ask
Tony knows
him to
better.
talk, they will ask. They will have to ask Jackson to talk as well. So that's a problem. But I still
Oh,
recommend you be there so that I can just point to you. Hey, this is wrong. Now we are talking about, because we are a pack, right? We are allowed to
yeah, our pack. That's why we set up our pack
Right.
under Ward Connolly. He knows all this politics would play out. Yeah,
No, that's good, Sophia. Because what you said is so great to hear that you guys are going to be behind me. Because I think when we were talking the first time, we were talking about the endorsement, and I was asking you about what other things would you guys be able to do for me besides just the endorsement.
in
I,
me,
you
yeah.
know, with a campaign, I got 3 months left. We got about 90 days left, and so we last Saturday, yesterday, on August 3rd, we went out for the first time door knocking. So we're targeting low propensity Republican voters, Republicans that only vote 2 or 3 out of the 5 cycles. So we're trying to say, hey, come on, we need your help. We need you to vote. And then we're saying, listen, California has ballot harvesting because they want to cheat. We got to beat them at their own game. So look, if you're busy, you have businesses, you have family, you got kids going to sports, gymnastics, whatever. You got things going on. You can't get to the polling place. Give us a call. We'll come and we'll pick up your ballot. We'll harvest your ballot and we'll take it in. But we have to work together. So we were out for the first time on Saturday, and we'll be going out every Saturday until November 5th.
Nice.
We're saying get out and vote. We're saying we're going to ballot harvest, and we're saying give us $10. We'll put a yard sign in your yard because we have to buy the sign. We have to buy the wire stake, and also we have to pay for the shipping. So give us $10 and we'll do those things. So we've already started that. When it comes to a campaign, yeah, you don't need millions of dollars, but you do need maybe $20,000 to put on a decent campaign, because I know that Corey Jackson's going to have, he got $1 million at his disposal easily. So we got to get mailers out there. We need some mailers. Like you said, you mentioned the texting. So there's a number of things that we do need to do to have like a professional campaign, to make a good run, to really have a good, be competitive, to put up a good fight. He's going to give us the material that we need, but we still need to, because we only 2 out of 10 people voted. That's all. Sophia, only 20% of Republicans voted.
Yeah.
I think that's the
That's
biggest problem I see.
That's the
Yeah,
biggest thing. If you can get another few percent out, you will beat them, because you are pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. I'm
Right?
only 800 votes away.
Because
Wow,
of
you're
Republican,
doing
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
a
we
good
only have,
chance.
you know, I got some national attention. But one of the things that happens that I'm learning, and I'm just learning because I'm brand new at this, it's like betting on races. So they look at the Republicans, and Democrats do it too, but they'll look at these races. And so based on my race was a D plus 24.
Right.
That means, this is the way somebody told me. They said, look, that's like a snowball doesn't have a chance in hell to, to win. So it's like, why even bother? What I've done, you guys, I've turned this thing completely around. It's a 50-50 race now. The numbers dictate, they demonstrate that it's a 50-50 race. And God has already dropped it in my spirit. I'm going to win this race, because even Democrats don't like this guy.
Right. That's
Even
great.
Democrats. I went to a interview for endorsement with the Riverside Sheriff's Association. I had to wait for them. I was supposed to have this interview with them in April. Something happened. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but things are happening. So they put me off, and I just had the meeting with them maybe about a week and a half ago. When I got in the room, there's 12 sheriffs around this big rectangular table. So I'm in there asking me 101 questions. And I know that they endorse my Republican opponent, Hector Diaz. But he lost. And he was the one saying Mexican, Hispanic. They were really stressing Hispanic, but I beat him. So now I had the meeting. They haven't gotten back in contact with me, Sophia, but I hope they will step up. So if I got them stepping up, then I have you guys, equal rights for all. I feel we could put on a good campaign. How long have you guys been helping candidates with campaigns?
As long as we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have
So
some
we
good
just,
candidates too. They're winning. One in San
Okay.
Diego. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
we just need a few things, some mailers out, the texting,
Yes.
some few things, and so we can put up a good competitive race.
Do you have the phone system set up already?
I don't have a phone system. I bought the voter list,
Yeah.
but I don't have a phone system.
Got
No.
it. Okay.
It would be
So-
nice. it would be nice if I had an office where I could say, you know what, guys, I'm opening up an office here in Moreno Valley, because Moreno Valley has double the amount of registered Republicans in my assembly district than any other city. It has over 20,000. The next largest city is Hemet, and I think they only have like 10,000.
Wow.
You're saying you are going to have an office there?
No, I'm saying I would
Oh,
like to have an office, because she
Okay.
asked about phones and a
Yeah, that will
system.
cost money too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
because
costs a-
unless, no, actually, I've talked to another candidate and I don't know, I'm not in that area. And he was able to get a local person.
Mhm.
I mean, he happened to own some building
Yeah.
Okay.
to donate a small office for them,
Right.
and there were multiple of them working in there.
Yeah.
So
I think Ron
first reach out.
Ron was thinking about having physical phone for his office, but I think that's a different thing Alex mentioned. So Alex was talking about phone banking system.
Yeah, phone banking.
You
Yeah,
don't
but
you don't
normally
need to have an office.
No,
No,
you
you
don't
don't
need
need
an
office.
office.
don't, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But I guess this candidate did have it because he had the volunteer to go into the
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
the office to do the calling together. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I don't know that. I mean, I'm just curious what you have, because not we need to know what you have to say, what need to
Right.
complement, right? And
So
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. So that's one question I want to ask, right? So Ron, it seems that so far you are fighting yourself. You are fighting by yourself.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
sure, it's a very powerful for one, the powerful one, but you need to scale up, right? So
Yes. Yes.
the next question will be, what's the size of your core team? If it's a one, you need to be 10 or 20.
Volunteer. How many volunteers do you
Core
have
team.
right now?
Let's talk about core team.
Volunteer. See, and this is the thing with volunteers. When I have, man, it's a lot of people that's on my side, quote, volunteers. So they might show up one day, but they won't show up the next day. They'll show up one Saturday,
Mhm.
but they won't show up for another Saturday. So it's very sparse. It's not, you don't have the commitment, and that's what we're lacking with the Republicans. We're lacking that commitment where someone's going to be there. And I know it's hard. I really do. When I talk to people, I understand. You have a wife, you have a husband, you have children, you're trying to go to work, you're trying to pay your bills, you're trying to wash your clothes. It's we don't have that level. The Democrats, they have the unions, they have the corporations, and they pay people to protest.
Yeah.
They pay people to do all the stuff you see on campuses. They pay them, and the Republicans don't have the funding to do that.
That's why we need the volunteers. So Ron, here's thing. I would like to share something from our past campaign. So nobody pays us, right? So we always started with like maybe 3 or 5 core team, core team, core team meaning they're really committed, right? Then from this very small core team, we fan out. Is that if you have 3 people, even just 3 people, right? You can start some planning and start to make sure something happens. Then once you are out there, like not just by yourself, you can start with yourself, right? Get 3 more who can work just as a double of you, right? Yourself. So then we get to multiply this energy. Otherwise, you talk to people, people say, oh, hey, I vote for you, but then they forget about it, and then you cannot even hold them. You need people to help you, to engage with people and to multiple this team. So you need one core team first. With this core team, so you guys start the strategies, to started planning some event, and start to reach out for more resources. You don't have to wait for Republicans' resources because they may be even poorer than you. All right, so it's the same. I know for sure Santa Clara GOP, they don't have money.
You don't have any money.
Yeah,
Right.
they have less money than
That's
our
right.
back. So
That's true.
this is just so sad.
Yes,
Why?
it is.
Why? Because they are not active. People don't see them.
Yeah.
When
Exactly.
people need help, they are not nowhere to see,
That's
right?
true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
So
true, Tony.
yeah, so
Tony,
my,
To-
yeah.
Tony, you made a great point, Tony. In my primary, when I was just starting out, I was standing in front of Target, and I was standing in front of Target so much, people at the ROV, they say, "Man, I saw you over there." I had managers and people saying, "Man, I saw you out there," or "You talked to me already." I was standing out there. I went out there every week.
Mhm.
Every week, I was out there at
Yeah.
least 3 days every
Mhm.
week. I go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And
Yeah.
stand. Some days I went 4 days a week, and I
Yeah.
would go in front of that Target. I did it the whole primary, and
Yeah.
people saw me over and over again. Now, this is the point I want to make that echoes what you just said, Tony. One day I was out at the Target. There was
Mhm.
a young African American lady. She was getting out the car. She's a young mother, and I approached her and I gave her my flyer. She looked at my flyer and just kind of like, how you give somebody something and they're not interested. So I kind of moved away a little bit, and all of a sudden she said, "Oh, you're conservative?" And we took pictures together. She was happy to see me
Mhm.
because, like you said, Tony, they
Mhm.
don't see us. We're in the
Right.
they want to go to the country club or they want to go to this in the building. I said we got to get outside. We
Right. Right.
have to
Right.
get
Yeah.
outside so the people can see us. And that's what I did my whole primary. I got
Mhm.
outside and people saw me. She was so happy because
Yeah.
she said she sees the Democrats, she sees the liberals, the progressives, but they don't see the Republicans. They don't
Wow.
see us.
Yeah.
She was so excited to see me.
Yeah. Nice. So
Yeah.
still, my point is that, right? So if, I really want to see you build a core team first,
Okay.
instead of you going out every day and you talk to 100 people, but then by the end of the day, you're still by yourself.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you start
Mhm.
again. Maybe you talk to another 200 people. Then among them, you already talk to 100 of them, right? So this is not going to be scalable. So
Well,
you
it's
need to
not.
scale yourself up.
Yeah, it's not completely I'm by myself. What I'm saying is a lot of times you can't get the same exact people all the time. Now um I had my first what do we call it? Canvassing where we went door to door just this past Saturday. I
Mhm.
had 10 volunteers that showed
Mm.
up.
Cool.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
had 10. So I know because people have families.
Yeah.
One lady got a wedding coming up. Another one, I got a funeral coming up. So
Yeah.
people might not be there every single week, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
do have volunteers. I had my first
Yeah.
meeting and we had 10 people there. So I do have
So
volunteers.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you get volunteers, right? So what
Hmm.
makes me worry is that, so when I see your questionnaire response, so the POC of your team, your campaign team is yourself.
Yeah.
So that just told me that you really need some helper. You really,
Yeah.
you cannot do
Yeah. No,
everything, right?
Yeah.
no,
It's
and I
not
just I
easy.
just got a young guy, and he's real good with the volunteering to knock on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Riley. He just came along. I had
Mm-hmm.
my first fundraiser. Bill Asaley
Mm.
was my keynote speaker.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
had that.
Nice.
I had that in Beaumont. That was on June 29th. Bill Asaley came down,
Yeah. I saw
and
the
he was
flyer.
he
That was
had a
nice.
great time. We only charge $40 because they want to charge 150 because the soccer moms don't have it. The people can't even buy groceries. I want the regular people to come. I want the blue collar worker, that working dad, that dad that's trying to work two jobs. He got 3, 4, 5 kids. The family's struggling because California inflation is killing them. So we set it at $40. We had a nice event. the spirit inside of that meeting, I've been to several Republican meetings. The atmosphere inside that event was different than any other event I ever been to. We were talking about God, and some of these people don't want to talk about God, but I talk about God because when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, it's one nation under God. So I can't believe people don't want to talk about God. And so what I like to tell people, we talk about the founding fathers, but I say there's one man that's called the father of our nation. Do you know his name? His name is George Washington. Not the founding fathers. I'm talking about the one father of our nation is George Washington. Do you know what George Washington said? He said, it is impossible to rightly govern a nation without God and the Bible. I like to tell people, and I say, raise your hands if you know that. More than half of the people don't know that George Washington said that. That's what we got to change. We got to change, because if we don't get back to God, we're going to lose. That's why we're losing our country, is because the people have turned themselves from God. The Constitution, they talk about self-government. Do you understand what self-government is? See, when I was a boy and a kid, my mom say, take a bath, Ronnie. Get dressed, Ronnie. Go eat your vegetables, Ronnie. But now when I become a man, my mom don't have to tell me that no more. I have self-government. This nation can never be what it was intended to be if men cannot govern themselves. It's not meant for tyrants and dictators, executive orders, mandates, dictates. We're not supposed to have any of that. I don't care if I like the dictate or the executive order. Nobody should be doing executive orders. We have a legislature. So we need to get back to God. Without God, guys, we're not gonna save this nation, because the Constitution is meant for a moral people. Those words and those principles are outlined in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. If we forget that men were leaders in their church, had their black robes on, then they took those black robes off and got their muskets and went and fought a war for independence, we're going to lose everything. I told somebody, I'm a licensed minister. I said, ministers are not weak men. Ministers are disciplined men. They will go to hell. They will set the captives free, and they will come back. We need to get back to strong men that love their wives, strong men that love their children. You don't beat up your wife. You don't beat up your children. You love them. You take your strength and you protect your wife. You take your strength, protect your children. You take your strength, protect your nation. If we don't get back to God, then we won't have those strong men. Yeah.
I am sold, but now I guess I think me and Tony are thinking, we only have 90 days.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all tactical now. Well,
Yes.
right. What you said, it's inspiring. We know your story and all that, but then,
we need actions.
until we get you up there,
Yes.
Yeah, we just need some
You know what,
action
excuse me.
plan.
there's no, until you get in there, right? Then we
Yes.
don't have an opportunity to change it. And
That's
just to
right.
share with you, I'm not part of I'm very grateful that Tony invited me, right? That I actually have a separate project going, which have a lot of synergy. That's why he invited me. Actually, I was on, since 2022 and this year, I was looking at how to not flip enough seat to end the radical supermajority in California Senate Assembly. And the reason I'm doing that, I realize, I mean, Bill Ilesi, I mean, he's a fighter up there. But I know another assembly person, he quit because as a minority, it's very frustrating. If you don't have enough people in there, even if I got you in there, it's not enough, right? So you guys, I mean, then people say, well, how come you're not doing anything? No, there's nothing you can do because
That's
you
right.
don't have the number.
That's right.
So that's why that my initiative is say, how do we at least first step in their super majority? So then that at least there are some bill you can slow them down. They just can't do it, right? And I
Absolutely.
found out that takes nine of you. Nine.
Right.
If we can flip whole California, 9 seat, we in their super majority. And I look at the number, and to be honest with you, I have identified 14 based on your primary result. Okay, I identified 14, and I didn't see you because I was looking strictly with the number. But for you, because it has a split vote situation, it looked like you were very far away from the Democrat. Right? I mean, that's just a reality. I have the number in front of it. So I said, wait a minute, we're looking for the most flippable, like close enough that if we give a push, there might be a chance to flip, right? But Tony and a couple other people invite me to review, to take a look. And I discovered the reason that you're kind of far behind is because Hector, that split your vote. Right?
Exactly.
So assuming that if you got Republican, if assume that you get all the existing Republican vote, yes, you are very close.
It's actually very, very close. Yeah.
Yeah, you are
I'm
actually very close.
I'm the number one Republican candidate that's close to flip the race in Riverside County, and I think I'm either 2 or 3 in the whole state of California.
Yeah, because another one is in Northridge. He is 500 votes behind.
Yeah.
And it's not even a split vote situation. Just about, and then his opponent is a communist. It's a communist. Okay, so this is what I'm dealing with. Okay, so that's why we only have 90 days. We try to be tactical. So for me, what I do, because I'm, and 10 of them are in Southern California. Honestly, 10 of them are in Southern California. 4 of it's in Northern California. So what I'm doing, which Tony knew what I'm doing, is that, I mean, if you're willing, okay, you have time. I've been doing a separate Zoom interview, okay, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then I send it out to all the network, hoping their network up and down California, okay, so that they get to know you. I mean, you're an incredible candidate, but nobody other than maybe Moreno Valley know about you. Nobody else do. So what I'm trying to do is try to send it to up and down California. As minimum, they can donate to you. Okay, so a lot of people want to do something. They don't know what to do. And we don't have a candidate. Forget it. Okay, we got Scott Wiener and Evan Lowe, forget it, right? We don't have it, but then they want to do something. So as minimum, that's why I asked you, if you have the phone set up, maybe somebody's willing to call for you. And we have network. Actually, now we are developing network to Southern California. So more people know about it because so I actually already interview 3, and one of my friends interviewed 1 candidate already, and they're all in Rivers. One is in Burbank, Tony Rodriguez. One of them is one is in Riverside, one is in Lakewood. Okay, so that's something at least we can do. If you're interested, can have time, I can do that. And then I'm making connection with Black for Trump as well up in San Francisco. Okay, and I'm sure they would love to know that you're there too, right?
Let's get his name out. So
to get as minimum, we can help get your name out, so we can get some support. But people like Sophia, she has more experience to say, how do you set up that system in case somebody is inspired enough to to actually able to volunteer to you. And our message is saying, if you have money, can donate, please donate. If you have time, you want to volunteer, you can volunteer. If you're not away, you can do phone. or text if you have it available. If you're with where you are, right? If they happen to live close to you, they can volunteer in person. But we don't know who is gonna get our message. That's why, we put it all out there for you. It's kind of like shooting a huge white bullet and see which one hits, right? Spread them, right? So that's what for me, that we're already doing for other candidates, and I can put you on as number 15. Since, like I said, because I didn't pay attention to you, and I do believe that, I mean, you are very inspiring candidate, okay? And I think it's matter of people know you, and I agree with what Tony say. You need to have a core team to help you manage everything. Like, even I don't know whether your wife is involved in that. Like another candidate, Paul Jones, him and her, his wife, right? It's also like 40 years or something. Yeah, they just go. They also go out and do stuff like this, right? So having a partner really do help. Right. So
and
that's kind of
also the social media, the social media promotion, they don't, if we would do it organically, we can do it anywhere by anybody, and that can help.
Yeah, so, because we're asking that. I mean, of course, my own network is small, but I'm asking me sending to a network that they send it to their network, they send it to a network, and that's how we can get wide. I mean, like I mean, each candidate, we already got at least a couple hundred people viewing it. And I think at least a couple of them, there are people that were inspired enough to donate. And I'm sure your story will inspire them, because I told them, we just help send it out, but nobody can substitute you. Then you need to be the one speaking to inspire people, say, God, I love your story, and I want to help you. And it's funny, like, the other, I interviewed 3, 2 of them are all veterans like you, and they're all kind of have your same issue. I mean, no, the same, like decided to come out, retire. They're all retired veterans, decide to come out and say, I'm not gonna let this happen already. So the story will resonate, I believe, because based on what I heard, the response are very positive. Right now, our challenge is we need to find more influential people to help share it to their network to keep widespread. Right? We have some in Southern California, but if we can get them even wider, we will get, at least I think you will get some more help. Right? Stuff like that. So that's just my suggestion, right? To say, but I think what Tony said is important. You got to have a core team. Otherwise, even if I send volunteer to you, don't know what to do, right? Like that's why. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. I have to leave.
Okay, sure.
Thanks, Ron. We'll follow up with you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I think so it's 1 hour and a half, one and a half hour. We should finish this interview.
Okay.
So Alex, I will get connected with you for you and Ron. So if you
that would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. If Ron's willing to do it, I'm willing to do it. We just set up another Zoom call. I can send you, and for me, because that's to help you. I don't ask tricky question. I actually give you question ahead of time, so you can prepare. So we want to get people to highlight you. Okay. So we can do that quickly.
Let's not avoid tough questions. It's okay. I'm confident that Ron can just deal with those. It's okay.
I understand. No, but the real concern is that because I have other candidates tell me, because we're gonna put it on YouTube, we put it on Rumble. That the opponent can use it to attack you. We don't need that kind of controversial questions. That's the only reason we don't ask it, because it's a get to know you interview. It's not to hardcore interview you question, right? So it's all good, but people have very good response, candidate and people that listen to it, same that they all have good response. So I would invite you to do it, and we will make you number 15.
And we're actually, I tell you, You know, I look at the story. It took 3 years to get here. I look at, and God walked me through David, through Moses, through Joseph, and through Esther. And he took 3 years to do it. It wasn't 3 days, 3 hours. It took 3 years for him to move me through those characters and say, this is what I want you to do. And each one of those characters was a nobody. Moses was a nobody. He was exiled in the desert. God said, I want to use you. And he like, man, who you want me to go to Pharaoh? He like, who am I? I'm a nobody. Then God said, no, I still want you to go and you're going to talk to the king. You're going to talk to Pharaoh. And he said, well, I can't even speak. He said, I'm still not letting you out of it. I want you, Moses, to go to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. It took 3 years. Then he took me to Joseph, a nobody. He told Joseph, he said, the sun is going to bow down to you. He said, the stars are going to bow down to you, and the moon is going to bow down to you. He's looking around like, what's going on? His brother said, are you crazy? You're a nobody. And we're going to show you that you're a nobody because we're going to sell you into slavery. So they sold him into slavery. We know the story. He saved his family. He saved the surrounding nations from famine, from natural disaster. That's what God is going to do with the people that he wants to do things with. So a lot of men, they trust in money, they trust in their beauty, and they trust in their knowledge. I'm one of those men that are servant of God. I trust in God, and I know that God can do something out of nothing. And then he took me to Esther, and I tell you, he took me through these characters, and he showed me for such a time as this. We're in dangerous times. These people that are here in America do not love Israel. They do not love God, and they do not love America, and they will cut your head off. These are dangerous times like Esther.
Yeah.
And so Mordecai told Esther, listen, you need to do these things and follow my instructions. You go to the king, you do whatever I tell you to do, and God is going to be with us. Not man, it's God that's going to be. So I'm prepared, and that's how I want. And when I get the opportunity, I tell them, I say, look, I hear all the things you're saying, but I trust in a power that's greater than any power in this universe. See, I believe that. And so God has called me to do these things, and I'm going to do these things regardless of money, regardless of people, and regardless of talent. I'm going to give the credit to God, and God's going to get the glory. And I know that, like God talked to Abraham in Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, I'm going to destroy these cities. He said, but I'll save this city if I can find this amount of people. They couldn't even get 10 people. When you know God, God is powerful and God is real. God is going to do some things in these last days that's going to shock a lot of people. I've been walking this dusty ground for 66 years. I've been working in a church since I was 22 years old. I know God. I know his voice. And I encourage people. One of my first things I did when I was out in the shopping center, I talked to a woman, and then we started talking, and she said, I don't know why I'm telling you all of these things. We end up praying in that shopping center.
Oh.
We cried in that shopping center. We hugged in that shopping center. What God is doing is more powerful than politics. So I don't call it politics. I said the Constitution doesn't talk about politics. The Constitution talks about government.
The people.
The Word of God, the Bible, doesn't talk about politics. The Bible talks about government. God, there's no Atlas. God got the big shoulders, and he can do anything. I tell you, he can move a mountain.
Amen. You're a godly man, Ron. God is with you.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, he is. He's with me, and I trust in him like Moses. I got Pharaoh behind me. I got the mountains over here. I got the desert over here, and what I got the Red Sea right here. He say, Moses, what is that in your hand? What is that you got control of? I'm like that little boy with that little boy's lunch, and I know he can feed 5,000 with my little bitty lunch.
Amen. Amen. That's
Amen.
awesome.
Amen.
Yeah. We're on the same page. Now we're on the same boat.
Amen. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
thank you, Ron.
our back. We have your
So,
back. Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
cool.
So let's see. So Sophia, so because Sophia is also attending the conference in
Okay.
this weekend. So hopefully we can see each other there, and we can talk more on the campaign and how can we work together and get the work done. Get
Yes.
uh,
I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm
Sure.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
me too.
excited too. We're finally connected. It's
Yeah,
God's will. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
We have the same opponent. Your opponent is our enemy.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have
Yes.
we have same goal, same value
Yes.
system. Yeah,
Same
so
value system, same
so
vision.
yeah,
And
so
he's on LGBTQ caucus as well. So
Yes, he is.
he's the one that you're talking about 1955. Oh, wait, was it you or somebody else? Yeah. Yeah. He's also one of the co-authors for 1955. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Tony will connect and then see, whether there's
Sure.
anything I can
Yeah.
assist. Okay.
I'll send an email connecting the two of you. So Susan, is there anything you want to share? Otherwise, we'll just close this meeting.
No. Just let me know if you need me to help you with any literature, whatever. Reach out to me, Tony. I'm here.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Susan.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you,
Thank
Susan.
you, Alice. Thank you,
Thank you.
Susan.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Ron.
guys. All right.
Bye.
Have a good
Stay in
evening.
touch.
Bye.
Stay in touch.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Thank you.